Hey everybody, it's Ray and welcome back to another Genshin Impact character video. I hope you have enjoyed our Claymore user video so far, and I'll leave some links in the top corner in case you missed Noelle, Eula and Xinyan. But today we're going to round off the current banner with the Electro Claymore user, Beidou. She is a well-respected pirate captain known throughout Liyue to be pretty amazing. Some children playing in the harbour declare Beidou as a good pirate and mention she treats the people of Liyue well, although it seems she often finds herself in trouble with the cheating and ends up paying a bunch of fines. From the 1.6 livestream, we learned that Beidou is going to have a role within the next patch, so I'm looking forward to getting to see her in action as part of the story. If you want to add the pirate captain to your team, she is currently available through all character banners, and for the last few days of the current update has an increased drop rate on the Eula banner. But before you set sail with Beidou in the party, to make sure she's seaworthy, you'll need to gather up some crystals and lightning prisms from the Electro Hypostasis, go mining for some Noctilucous Jade, and track down some treasure hoarders for their insignias. For her talents, you'll need books of gold, more insignias, and to take on Storm Terror for Dvalin's Sai. Any more wishes for Beidou will grant Stellar Fortuna, lighting up her constellation Victor Ma, the Conqueror of the Seas, and increasing her power. So let's have a look at what this pirate can do. Beidou's basic attack, Oceanborn, performs up to 5 consecutive strikes with her claymore. She can use stamina to perform continuous slashes, finishing off with a more powerful slash, and after plunging from mid-air to strike the ground, will damage enemies along the way and deal AoE damage upon impact. Her 4th constellation, Stunning Revenge, gives Beidou's normal attacks a 20% electro damage bonus within 10 seconds of taking damage. Her elemental skill, Tidecaller, has 2 forms. A press of the skill button, Beidou gives a fierce swing of her sword using the power of lightning and dealing electro damage. Holding the skill button, Beidou will lift her weapon as a shield and absorb attacks up to a percentage of her max health, and when the skill is released or expires, unleashes a slash dealing electro damage, scaling on the amount of damage taken while shielding. Her 3rd constellation, Summoner of Storm, gives an extra 3 talent levels to Tidecaller. Her 1st Ascension passive, Retribution, grants the maximum damage bonus when counter-attacking with Tidecaller at the precise moment of impact. Her 2nd Ascension passive, Lightning Storm, gives a few extra perks when a perfect counter is achieved with Tidecaller. Normal and charge attacks gain a 15% damage bonus and a 15% movement speed boost, and there is a reduced delay to launch a charged attack. I'd show you these passives in action, but I just can't get the timing right, and I need more practice. For the Elemental Burst Stormbreaker, Beidou recalls the strength and lightning used in the slaying of the beast Haishan and creates a Thunder Beast charge around herself, dealing electro damage to nearby opponents. For the duration of the Thunder Beast charge, when normal and charged attacks hit, they will create lightning discharge that can jump between opponents, dealing electro damage. Beidou will also have increased resistance to interruption and take less damage. Her 1st constellation, Sea Beast Scourge, generates a shield when Stormbreaker is used. The shield can last for 15 seconds and absorbs damage up to 60% of her health stat. For her 2nd constellation, upon the turbulent sea, the thunder arises, the arc lightning created by Stormbreaker can jump to an additional 2 targets. Her 5th constellation, Crimson Tidewalker, gives an extra 3 talent levels to Stormbreaker, and her final constellation, Bane of Evil, reduces the electro resistance of surrounding enemies by 15% for the duration of Stormbreaker. Her final passive talent, active as soon as she joins the party, Conqueror of Tides. It reduces the party's stamina consumption when swimming by 20%. When cooking the revival dish, Stir-Fried Fillet, there's a chance she'll create her signature dish, Flash-Fried Fillet, instead, and this dish will restore a greater amount of health than the original product. So now let's have a look at the build I'm currently working on. The Eula banner blessed me with the final Beidou I needed to reach her 6th constellation. All of her talents are at level 6 with some constellation boosts, and she's currently at level 71 with 5 Ascension levels unlocked and level 5 Friendship. I have swapped Beidou's Claymore a bunch of times, but recently I've settled with the prototype Archaic. This is one of my best Claymores as it used to be held by one of my main damage dealers, but since I've given them a new weapon, it got passed down to Beidou as the beginning of my attempt to get a good build for her and start using her some more. I spent a bunch of this current patch deliberating over getting the Blackcliff Claymore for her instead, but decided to stick with what I have for now. Okay then, before we get into the artifacts, I'll be the first to say it's a bit of a mess. There's a 2-piece Gladiators Finale and a 2-piece Wanderer's Troop in there, with an attack percent timepiece, a HP cup, and a HP headpiece. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, and I definitely have some better artifacts now, so I can probably improve on this a lot. Attack and electro damage are probably better choices here. As Beidou doesn't heal or shield other team members, she's really in your team to dish out damage. Pairing her with another electro unit means that your team will benefit from the high voltage resonance. So any superconduct, overloaded, or electrocharge reactions will have a 100% chance to drop an electroparticle. Pairing Beidou up with Lisa, whose burst continually attacks and applies electro in an AoE, or Fischl, who can summon Oz to attack independently, also gives more opportunity for those reactions to happen with other support units. To trigger Superconduct, pairing Beidou with a cryo character like Diona or Rosaria, whose bursts can apply cryo to a small area, gives more chances for Superconduct to occur. And as Superconduct reduces the enemy's physical resistance, Beidou can then do more damage with her basic attack. You could also pair Beidou with Kaya and cause a little chaos activating both of their bursts at the same time. For the overloaded reaction, you can easily pair Beidou up with a character like Xiangling or Amber. As both have an elemental skill that can spread fire while they're off the field, it will also count as damage towards Beidou's counter, boosting the damage from Tidecaller. For the electrocharge reactions, you can bring along Barbara if you still need a healer for your team, or Xingqiu, whose elemental skill can keep the reactions going and his burst will continue attacking even when he isn't the active character. If you have the 5-star character Mona, her taunt ability will continue to apply Hydro and draw the enemy's attention away from your active character for a short period of time. You may also want to bring along a character who can create shields, so of course there's Xinyan, who can also boost physical damage and create the overloaded reaction with her Pyro, or Noelle, who can shield and heal. Ningguang could also be an option as her Geo attacks will cause the crystallize reaction with any element it comes into contact with, and generate shields that way. So, final thoughts. Beidou is a character for a player with skill, and I am not that player, so for me, drawing out the full potential of her counter mechanic is going to be pretty hard, if not impossible. I see other players executing the perfect counter and doing insane damage with these great builds, but I haven't really figured out a way to incorporate her with my playstyle. You know, the button bash and hope for the best. But even though I just can't seem to get the timings right, I do appreciate being able to use mechanics like this, because it makes things a lot more interesting. So what do you think of Beidou? Let me know down in the comments if you've mastered her counter ability. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to pop the subscribe button and ring the bell to see more. Join us on Wednesday for the new patch. We're going to be dropping some wishes and seeing if we can finally add Klee to the team. But until then, see you next time.
Time moves quickly. Go. May the wind be at your back.